Fortnite is an online computer game created by Epic Games and discharged in 2017. It is accessible in 3 unmistakable game mode forms that in any case share a similar general interactivity and game motor: Fortnite, Save the World, an agreeable shooter endurance game for up to 4 players to ward off zombie-like animals and safeguard objects with fortresses they can assemble; Fortnite Battle Royale, an allowed-to-play fight royale game where up to 100 players battle to be the last individual standing; and Fortnite Creative, where players are given finished opportunity to make universes and fight fields. Spare the World and Battle Royale were discharged in 2017 as early access titles, while Creative was discharged on December 6, 2018. Spare the World is accessible just for Windows, Mac OS, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, while Battle Royale and Creative discharged for each one of those stages, and furthermore for Nintendo Switch, iOS, and Android gadgets. The game is relied upon to likewise dispatch with the arrival of the cutting-edge PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X reassures. While the Save the World and Creative adaptations have been effective for Epic Games, Fortnite Battle Royale specifically turned into a reverberating achievement, attracting in excess of 125 million players in under a year, acquiring a huge number of dollars every month, and turning into a social wonder. Game modes. Right now, Fortnite is disseminated as 3 diverse game modes, utilizing a similar motor: every comparative illustrations, craftsmanship resources, and game mechanics. Fortnite Save the World is a player versus condition helpful game, with 4 players teaming up towards a typical goal on different missions. The game is set after an accident storm shows up across Earth, making 98% of the populace vanish, and the survivors to be assaulted by zombie-like husks. The players play the job of administrators of command post covers, gathering assets, sparing survivors, and shielding gear that serves to either gather information on the Tempest or to push back the Tempest. From missions, players are granted various in-game things, which incorporate saint characters, weapon and trap schematics, and survivors, which can all be stepped up through picked-up understanding to improve their characteristics. Fortnite Battle Royale is a player versus player game for up to 100 players, permitting one to play alone, in a couple, or in a crew, for the most part comprising of 3 or 4 players. Weaponless players airdrop from a fight bus that crosses the game's guide. At the point when they land, they should rummage for weapons, things, assets, and even vehicles while attempting to remain alive and to assault and dispense with different players. Through the span of a round, the sheltered region of the guide contracts down in size because of an approaching harmful tempest. Players outside that limit take harm and can be wiped out on the off chance that they neglect to rapidly empty. This powers remaining players into more tight spaces and energizes player experiences. The last player, team, or crew remaining is the victor. Fortnite Creative is a sandbox game mode, like Minecraft, in that players are given finished opportunity to bring forth everything that is inside the game on an island, and can make games, for example, fight fields, race courses, platforming difficulties, and then some. In the initial 2 modes, players can utilize their pickaxe to thump down existing structures on the guide to gather fundamental assets that are wood, block, and metal. In this way, in all modes, the player can utilize these materials to fabricate strongholds, for example, dividers, floors, and steps. Such fortress pieces can be altered to include things like windows or entryways. The materials utilized have diverse strength properties and can be refreshed to more grounded variations utilizing more materials of a similar kind. Inside Save the World, this empowers players to make guarded fortresses around a goal or trap-filled passages to bait husks through. In Battle Royale, this gives the way to rapidly navigate the guide, shield oneself from foe fire, or to defer a propelling enemy. Players are urged to be innovative in structuring their strongholds in Creative. Every single game mode are liberated to be to-play titles, in spite of the fact that starting at 2019, Save the World is in early access and expects buy-to-play. 1. The initial 2 games are adapted using V-Bucks, in-game cash that can be bought with certifiable assets, yet in addition earned through finishing missions and different accomplishments in Save the World. V-Bucks in Save the World can be utilized to purchase plunder boxes, as piñatas formed like llamas, to increase an arbitrary choice of things. In Battle Royale, V-Bucks can be utilized to purchase restorative things like character models or something like that, or can likewise be utilized to buy the game's Fight Pass, a layered movement of customization prizes for picking up, understanding and finishing certain destinations over the span of a Battle Royale Season 1 and 2. Improvement. Fortnite, Save the World. Fundamental article, Fortnite, Save the World section development. Fortnite started from an inward game jam at Epic Games following the distributing of Gears of War 3 around 2011. Despite the fact that it was not at first one of the created titles during the jam, the idea of combining the development game classification, speaking to games like Minecraft and Terraria, and shooter games emerged, prompting the establishment of Fortnite. 4.5 Development of Fortnite eased back because of a few issues, including changing from the Unreal Engine 3 to Unreal Engine 4, a more profound pretending game way to deal with broaden the life of the game, and a switch of workmanship style from a dim subject to a more childish style. Further, Epic was hoping to get into the games as an assistance model, and got Chinese distributor Tencent to help. Tencent took an enormous stake in Epic as a major aspect of this, prompting the flight of a few administrators, including Cliff Bleszinski, who had been a key piece of Fortnite's turn of events. Fortnite's methodology was changed to be Epic's testbed for games as an assistance, and further eased back the development. 6.5.7 Eventually, Epic had the option to get ready to discharge Fortnite as a paid early access title in July 2017, with plans to discharge it as allowed to play at some point in 2019 while picking up input from players to improve the game. 8, 9, 10, 11 With the arrival of Fortnite Battle Royale, the player versus condition mode was recognized as Spare the World. Fortnite Battle Royale. Principal article, Fortnite Battle Royale section development. Close to a similar time that Epic discharged Fortnite into early access, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds had become an overall marvel, having sold more than 5 million duplicates 3 months from its March 2017 discharge, and attracting solid intrigue the Fight Royale kind. Epic perceived that with the Fortnite base game, they could likewise do a Fight Royale mode, and quickly built up their own adaptation on Fortnite in around 2 months. 12 By September 2017, Epic was prepared to discharge this as a second mode from Spare the World in the paid for prior access, however afterward chose to discharge it as a free game, Fortnite Battle Royale, upheld with microtransactions. This rendition immediately picked up players, with more than 10 million players during its initial 14 days of discharge, and driving Epic to make separate groups to proceed with the Fortnite Battle Royale advancement separated from the Save the World form, outside of normal motor components and workmanship assets. 13.14 This permitted Fortnite Battle Royale to extend to different stages in any case not bolstered by Save the World, including iOS and Android cell phones and the Nintendo Switch. 15.16 Fortnite Creative. Fundamental article, Fortnite Creative section development. An imaginative sandboxing mode propelled on December 6, 2018, synchronized with the beginning of Season 7 of Fortnite Battle Royale. Here, every player approaches a private, determined island on which they develop structures and include and control protests as wanted. Players can welcome companions to this island, and take an interest in informal games, for example, race tracks or hopping courses. 17 Initially, just players who purchased the Battle Pass could get their own private island, yet players who didn't buy it gain admittance to this game mode for nothing on December 13.